this computer.
Alrighty. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 ISACA Student Competition for Judges. My name is Ashley Mangar, and a little fun fact about me. By day, I am an IT auditor at MUFG, and by night, I am the chair for Academic Relations Committee for the ISACA New York Metropolitan Chapter. Today, I have with me my co-chairs, Eugene Levin, and my assistant director, Sophia Heiken. So I'm going to start with Eugene first to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eugene Levin. I'm currently treasurer of the New York Metropolitan Chapter, but before that, I was a corresponding secretary, and before that, I was the chair of academic relations. That's when I created this competition about 5 years ago, and this competition has been growing. And this year, we have a record enrollment: 32 colleges, 17 universities. Um, right? And during the day, I work for a company that trades over-the-counter securities, and in the evenings, I do ISACA. I'm an officer of ISACA New York Metropolitan Chapter, and I also teach cybersecurity at Yeshiva University.
Thank you, Eugene. And now I'll hand it off to Sophia to do a quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. As Ashley said, I'm Sophia Heiken. I am a manager at Advanced Publications in IT risk or risk advisory. I come from EY, worked there for a little bit for IT risk consulting, so happy to help any way that I can.
Thank you, Sophia. Since we have two people on the call today, I would like to ask these judges to actually introduce themselves as well too. So we'll start off with Ken.
Hello, everyone. I'll start with my day job. I'm the head of security for a national law firm, Lowenstein Sandler. But my night job is what I really love, and that's being president of the ISC2 New Jersey chapter. And it's kept me extremely active. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. And last but not least, we have David Chang. So David, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Hey Chang, work at MUFG, also an IT auditor. This is the third year in the judge, I believe, right, Ashley?
I think so.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I think I read 26 YouTube last year, so I'm going to look forward to 37 this year.
Awesome. Okay, so just for everybody's information, we do have a QR code here, and I promise you guys this is not a malicious QR code. So you're more than welcome to actually scan this QR code here, and this will lead you guys to our link tree, so you get to learn a little bit more about academic relations, but more importantly, to be able to access our Slack channel and to access everything on regarding the case competition. And we will definitely talk a little bit more about that as we get through the presentation. And now we will talk a little bit about the competition and why we are all here today. So, as Eugene said, it has been 5 years since we've been running this annual competition related to cybersecurity. And what we do is that we download case studies from Harvard University and ask and challenge students to actually read through that case study and do a 15-minute presentation about the case study. And they range from various of topics. This year, we're going to be doing a little bit of the case competition is around CyberArk and privileged access management, which we will talk about in greater detail as we go through the PowerPoint presentation. So if you guys want to read a little bit more about the competition and any of the facts, definitely breeze through slide 6 here, and just to learn a little bit more about how many students applied, what kind of majors they have, and all the other academic factual sheets about them. This year, we have a lot of students that participated from various universities and high schools. Some of them you may recognize from New York, and then there are some of them that may be coming from the other states and also a few teams that are from India. So we are very, very happy that this competition has actually made it nationally and also internationally. Competition rules. So I will actually uh breeze through this very quickly. We did set a lot of rules in place for students to abide by. So if you for you judges, definitely take a look through this. Just to understand like what are the rules or expectancies that the students have when they have to do their competition. And also, students are allowed to use AI because we don't restrict the use of AI tools. So we do have a statement regarding about the AI usage that you guys could take more look in detail. Most importantly, this slide is very important for you judges um, to understand the deliverables, right? So we did announce the case study as of January 6th, so the beginning of this year. The students had approximately 2 to 3 months to review the case study and to create their 15-minute presentations and present and publish their recordings by April 4th. Our team then will then collect those recordings, and we will be assigning new judges uh, certain student groups to actually review and rate their and judge their presentations. The top 3 teams that makes it through the chart based on your input will be announced on April 21st, and the top 2 teams will be entering the final debate on May 4th, which is a Sunday. If you want more details about those key deliverables and dates, please take a look at slides 9 and 10, and that's where you will understand a little bit more of what is expected for each of those dates. For judge time commitment, this is another important slide for you guys. The expectancy to work on on these judges on these presentations is about 6 hours. So before April 4th, we do expect you guys to actually read through the case study and understand about what the case study is about. From there, Saturday, April 5th to Friday, April 18th, you guys will have several rounds of submissions to review the 15-minute videos and 25 slide presentations. We will assign you guys those presentations. However, you guys are more than welcome to review as many presentations as you want. By Sunday, May 4th, we will have the final debate, which will be for 2 hours from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are still looking for judges. We are trying to have approximately 19 judges in total. We are also still looking for any sponsors. So if you are interested in sponsoring for this competition, I will show the slide towards the end of today's presentation about those sponsorship benefits. I will pause here for any questions or comments.
If you're looking for judges, I mean, I can probably get you judges. I mean, qualified judges. I don't mean just anybody. So, there's a lot of people in my chapter that are dying to do this kind of stuff. So,
Ken, if you can suggest any names to us, please send it to us. We'll take a look, and we would love to get some more people. Yeah.
all right.
Please,
So,
please share the information. Yeah.
okay. All right. No problem.
Thank you so much, Ken. Okay, now I will actually pass the mic off to Sophia, who's going to talk a little bit about the case study.
Yeah, of course. So this year we decided to do the case study around CyberArk, and we can go on kind of the next slide. The students, what we did is we provided them a background of information. Of course, we encourage and actually pretty much require them to read the case by themselves, but as a high-level presentation in this slide, we wanted to go over what the case covers, what it describes. So these are kind of dates and key notes from the case study itself. And I believe we're sharing with the case study, obviously, with you to read before you're going to start judging it, but this is kind of a high level overview. So in the next slide, what we did is we broke down what the student prompt is, what the role that they're taking on, who they're presenting to. So in this case, they're taking on the role of the CISO. They will be presenting to the company's CEO, and their goal is to create a 3-year comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. Now, something to note, and this is in our Q&A section, like our FAQ section that we have later in the slides, but the case study itself is written in 2017. We are encouraging and requesting that students present it from year 2025 on. The case study itself is information and background for the company and what their product is, what they can offer, but given the new technology and the structure of ISACA constantly trying to progress and push forward, it didn't make sense for students to have a perspective of running from 2017 to 2020. So they are presenting 2025 to 2028. So just a quick note to have when you are going to be judging the case competition and the presentations. And we're asking students to make it like um, incorporate different strategies and talk about different things. So actually, Ashley, if you can jump to the next slide. So this year, because we have so many teams and because so many of them are so talented, we decided to throw in a little bit of a twist. This is not in the original Harvard case study. It is a 0-day challenge. So there has been a 0-day exploit that has been found. And we are asking students to incorporate it, to assess it and incorporate it in their presentation and discuss it and address it while they present in the case competition. We have more details about it later in the slide explaining how it was found and how it's incorporated, but this is something new that we've decided to add. It was added fairly quickly after we introduced the case, so this isn't something that we're waiting to give them. They already know about this and they know that they have to incorporate it, but this is something new that we're excited to see how they address. And then we can move on. So the 3 main deliverables that we want to focus on, oh no, there's 6, sorry. The 6 main deliverables we want to focus on is making sure there's an executive summary, that they do a risk assessment, and then strategic initiatives roadmap. And then next slide, there's KPIs, there's a compliance and governance overview, and then a strategic partnership and third-party risk. We're trying to really have them create the most comprehensive presentation and really test their skills across the board. So finally, this Ashley has touched upon this, but we are asking them to create a 25 slide presentation summarizing the 3 years. We did say that they have a cap on 25 slides. We're not trying to have them present a 300-page presentation. So we're trying to make sure we are challenging them to see how well they can express express their thoughts within a shorter kind of limit. So we want to see how that works out. And then they are to produce a 15-minute video as a CISO presenting to the CEO. They will be uploading it into YouTube, and then we will be sharing it and dividing it amongst the judges to see which ones you will be judging. And I believe the next slide, I'll pass it off to Eugene to cover the rubric.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. So the rubric basically has 8 areas. And rubric, just as a reminder, rubric is how we want to evaluate the submissions, right? So for each submission, we are going to be looking for those 8 things, starting with the executive summary. And there is a description of what we expect to see there, provides a comprehensive and insightful overview of CyberArk, such, blah, blah, blah. Second parameter is risk assessment and prioritization. Third is strategic initiatives roadmap, which is like the 3-year plan from the CISO perspective. Number 4 is metrics and KPIs. How do they propose to measure the progress and success? Moving on to parameter number 5, regulatory compliance and governance. 6 is strategic partnerships and third-party risk management. And then 7 is ethical and crisis decision making. That's the twist part. How do they propose to deal with the short-term 0-day exploit? And then parameter number 8 is professionalism and delivery. How well they're presenting. Okay. Now we are going to provide very detailed scoring guidelines to the judges. So for each of those 8 things in the rubric, we are going to provide scoring scale, which goes from 1 unsatisfactory to 5 exemplary. And this is the guidelines that basically define what each rating stands for from 1 to 5. And then next few slides basically give you a very detailed explanation of what would you need to see to deserve, let's say, exemplary rating of 5, or what would constitute a satisfactory rating of 3, right? And then we do that for each section of the rubric. So similar table for risk assessment and prioritization, right? And these tables are specifically, the criteria are specific for that specific section, right? Yeah. So hopefully it'll give you plenty of goalposts in terms of how to evaluate submissions, and uh, chances are you're not going to be looking at all submissions because that's way too much work, right? Nobody expects that the same person will be reviewing more than 30 presentations, but we will split them among you, and having such detailed guidance for you hopefully will result in that the rankings are going to be consistent, and we are going to make sure that every presentation is being scored by at least 3 or 4 judges. Yep. Right, and then there will be a total score, and as Ashley mentioned, based on that total score, we will identify top 3 teams. And top 3 teams by default will be getting, everybody in those teams will be getting scholarships from their prize fund. And top team number 3 will get the scholarship. That will be the end of the competition for them. But the top 2 teams will go into the championship debate, where we will give them a topic to debate from different positions, for and against. And then on May 4th, Sunday morning, you will be participating in this live debate on Zoom call. And we will give you similar scoring guidelines, which are going to be somewhat different for the debate portion of the competition. So what questions do you have?
This is very impressive. So I guess David has already done this, so he probably doesn't have too many questions, but I have a lot. It's fascinating, first of all. And you put this all together, Eugene?
Look, I started it, but there have been a lot of amazing people who contributed along the way.
I mean, to get all those schools involved, I mean, this is fascinating. Kudos to you and everybody else on the team.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. So one question I have is, are you helping them a little bit on the way, or they're completely on their own? As far as like giving them, do they even know what CyberArk is? Are we giving them any kind of training? Not training, but just like demos about CyberArk?
So I could take this one, Ken, and that is that no, we are not giving them like, hands-on training with CyberArk, right? That is not the intention. However, CyberArk is one of the main tools that is being used in a lot of companies right now, right? So there is a lot of background information that students can research on their own about that. However, a lot of student groups are working with not only their academic teachers, but they also have mentors or mentors that we assign, um, either they find it themselves or we find it for them, that they're working with currently that has cybersecurity experience in the background. So these professionals would then help them and guide them with some of the things and nuances that they have seen with CyberArk, or based on the reading, and provide guidance to the students as to how they should be able to present based on the criteria that we did set for them. So they are mentors, but the mentors are not doing the work for the students. The students will have to do the work by themselves.
No, that I understand 100%. I'm just concerned that, like, just to make sure everybody's on the same level playing field, like having like some kind of demo, not technical demo or something like that. I'm just saying, like, this is CyberArk. These are the things it could do. This is how it works. So this way, everybody starts off, you know, because some schools may not have people that know CyberArk or something like that, or I don't know. I just,
Sure, sure. Sure.
I'm just throwing this out. Listen, you guys know what you're doing. I'm just asking questions.
It makes perfect sense as a suggestion, and it's probably something we'll consider next time. I think that what you're describing, the case study that we purchased from Harvard Business Publishing plays that role, because the way it's written by three professors is it's really anybody who is curious about cybersecurity will be able to understand what's written there. It's not, it's very intuitive, and it really gives a very good overview as to what this company is, how it was created, what the product they're producing. So that was why we had that case study to give students some background.
No, I get the case study, but it's just reading. I mean, to really appreciate it, to see it in action is different.
I understand. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's part of the, the excitement of being in cybersecurity is that it's a hands-on kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. If it's too late, I'm just.
It's a bit too late, but as Ashley said, most of the teams have a professional mentor assigned to them, a professional from the industry, right? And if they're interested to see the product in action, then I guess they can ask for it. Now, we were even trying to find if we can find a judge from CyberArk, right? We still have some hope to be able to do that. We didn't give up, so we're still looking for contacts.
Because we use CyberArk at my company, and I mean, if you want, I can talk to my rep and see if that's something that we could do.
That would be great if we can definitely have somebody from CyberArk to actually see this. I mean, it will be really great to have that partnership with them.
All right. Well, I can certainly ask.
Thank you, Ken.
No, that's awesome, actually. Yeah. I mean, if we can, there are two ways we can leverage this person, right? As a judge, and also if they wish to do a quick demo of the product for whoever wants to attend, right? We have 160 plus students in the competition, right? So I'm sure
I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, to teach kids how to use their product, I mean, how would they not? And to judge, I mean, why would they not do that? It's like having Google in the schools. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you teach people who are going into the profession about your tool? I don't know. So let me make a couple of phone calls, see if I could do that.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
No problem. And the other thing I was thinking about is the public speaking part. Can we provide them with any kind of public speaking, like my chapter has a public speaking workshop, and so we help people learn what to do and what not to do when they're talking in front of an audience. Do we want to give like tips and tricks or anything like that to them, or make a video, or I don't know, or is that too much also?
I think it might be. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay. From me being in college, I think it's like freshmen or sophomores, they usually have to take like a speech class anyway, as part of their prerequisite. So, but either way, to have a class like that, I think that's something that will be good for the future. It's just that it might be a little bit too late right now, as students have like I think 2 weeks left to actually submit their presentations. So and
I think sorry, continue.
Yeah. And then on top of that too, that they do have their academic advisors and their mentors that can help them with the practicing and speaking in front of a camera and things like that. So they do have other resources that are available for them as well.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
think to add on really
I
quickly, um, I think one of the perks, because also in college, I've done a lot of these case competitions. This is a unique situation where they get to record and publish something on YouTube. So they have the ability to re-record as many times as they would like. And I think that for future reference, for future case competitions, it's a great idea to look into. But for this one, I also think that they have the flexibility to, if they record it all together and don't like what they see, they can put a pause on it and do it again.
Yeah. No,
uh,
I get it. I get it. It's just that. Yeah. All
Perhaps
right.
for next year, can if you partner for next year as well, then if you start just a little bit earlier, then maybe your chapter can organize some recording or some live training to the students who are interested.
Okay. I understand.
Right?
I'm late in the game. I didn't realize how late I was. So.
No, we just we are happy to have you as a judge, and we're so thankful for your time. Sometimes the best ideas for those is because we pulled you in as a judge, we didn't catch it for the earlier part of it. So we'll definitely continue these conversations for next year.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, and Ken Chang here. So I think interesting as a judge to look at it that um, most of the team, not all of them, most of the team are fairly presentable. They were pretty good in talking and pacing the schedule. Now, with that said, you do have one or two team because I look at all 26 team last year. Okay,
Yeah.
they do have one or two team that would be one person dominate the entire discussion. It does
Hmm.
happen, but it was fairly good in terms of pacing it, doing hands off. As I said, there are one or two of the team that may need some coaching, but most of the time they were pretty good.
Okay.
Right, right. And one of the requirements is that we ask all of the students of the team to cover at least a few slides in the presentation so that all of them are expected to speak.
Got it. And you said at the end there's like a debate that they have to do?
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Yes.
at the so the t after we after the judges have submit all of their rubrics, their scoring sheet. We calculate it at the end, and then we would rank them from, first place to whatever last place there is, right? Um, so the top two teams would then enter into the final debate to compete for the first prize. And that happens in the first Sunday of May, which is May 4th. May the 4th
Okay.
be with you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the I think the interesting part I also observed from last year were um, because last year there were judges that score certain number of teams, and I was the only one to cover all of them. But the interesting part is at the end, the mathematic work out pretty similar. Like the judges for the first two or three, they're very similar among different judges.
Yeah.
So it worked out okay.
Okay. All right. No, it's amazing. I've never been part of anything this sophisticated. This is very nice. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I can't be there for the live part, but I heard it's all recorded anyway. That one day I'm definitely out. But
Yeah,
so
we'll record the debate and then you'll have maybe 1 or 2 weeks after the debate to finalize to view the debate and to score it. And then we make an announcement. We keep it quiet regarding who is the champion till we announce it at our membership event
yeah,
late in May or June.
yeah, no, sounds great. All right. I guess the only thing that would help me because I haven't seen this before is could I see like the winner's video? Can you send me that from last
Yes.
year?
So Ken, you asked a great question here, and so we will be providing this slideshow to everyone here. There's actually more information as we go forward. After we talk about the rubric, which is about the sponsorship benefits, which you can see on this slide here for platinum, gold, and silver, and all of these, all of the money that we're asking for each of those tiers, those are going towards the student scholarships. So whoever wins first place, second place, and third place, we will take that prize fund, we will split it and give it to the students. Um, but these are the things that will come in your favor when you do the sponsorships, right? Um, the next few slides are some of the Q&As that the students had initially through Slack or through some of our Q&A sessions from the about the competition that we provided answers for. So for any judges that are interested in what kind of questions that they had and what our responses are, definitely you could take a look at these few slides here. Um, but more importantly, to your point, Ken, um, starting from slide 21, we do have the prior competitions. So 2024 is the greatest example of what's expected for this year, which is where we did the debate for the first time. That was something new that we introduced last year, and last year we did this about solar winds with when we had the when solar winds had the cyber event that happened with them. So
So,
definitely you could take a look at this page for what happened last year. But
so
we also
that
had, yeah.
sorry, sorry. That we did a real case study last year of something that actually happened, and this year you decided to do something that didn't actually happen.
Well, they weren't a great enough case studies when Eugene looked through them that are more relatable in today's situation. So we did take CyberArk, but just because that is something that a lot of companies are using today, but we just added our own twist to it to make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay, no, fair enough. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. SolarWind case was last year was very interesting because they were sued by SEC and the decision was not yet out. So we asked students to speculate what the outcomes might be of this SEC suit and how it's going to impact the industry if SEC wins and if SEC loses. So they had to
Okay.
prognosticate, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so it really wasn't any. Oh, so it was really about the regulations.
And the impact of this regulation, because what SEC was trying to do is to break the new ground and extend the authority, right? And if they were to win, it would have changed the role of the CISO. And we basically wanted the students to see if they can predict and calculate forward how what the impacts are going to be.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And we have more of the competitions as well too, past competitions as well too. So you can definitely feel free to review the rest of them, but I do recommend 2024 just because that is something a little bit more recent, and it's a similar strategy that we're doing this time around for this year.
I get it. And the lowest, like we don't have ISACA money. I was just curious if we did decide to be a sponsor, what is like a silver kind of pricing? I can't.
1,500. Ken, you don't have to do it. We would love to have
Okay.
you the judge regardless, but if you want to sponsor, it doesn't have to be 1,500. Whatever you wish to contribute, we'll take it.
Okay.
Yep.
But
I mean,
you,
yes, because at the end of the day, this is not for us. This is not going towards our chapter. This is
No, I
going to
understand.
students
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
I got it. I got it. So, all right, let me discuss it. But I think, yeah, let me talk it over. But so judges, I can get you. I'll reach out to CyberArk sales and see if we can get some judges, a judge, sorry, a judge, and a sponsorship maybe. Okay, all right. So those three things are my takeaways. Okay, all right, and
Thank you so much, Ken. Honestly, thank you so much for helping us with the competition.
No, this is a great opportunity. This sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm telling you, uh, what I'm gonna do is when you send me the deck, I'm gonna send the deck. I'll take out some of the stuff, but I'm gonna send the deck to everybody in the chapter, and I'll be like the first 5 people get to be judges, and or whatever, 5 or 6, how many you need, and you'll see it'll be like there'll be like a waiting list for this thing, okay? And a lot of our members really love doing this stuff. So
Right. So Ken, I mean, at this point, we are trying to select the judges which are kind of going to elevate the prestige and kind of the clout of the competition. So we are not like sending, to people. We are trying to.
don't worry, I'm gonna pre-vet them.
Okay,
Okay,
good, good.
you're not gonna have students doing the judging. Okay, don't worry. You're gonna have people that I know and trust. Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Sounds
Okay.
good.
And yeah, yeah. So I think it'll be really interesting though because ISACA, obviously has more auditors on their side, and we're going to have more engineers on our side. So I think it'll be an interesting mix of judges.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Ashley and Eugene, so from last 2 years, I don't remember a lot of auditor. I think it was mostly system
Actually,
manager,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Most of the people on the panel were actually cybersecurity
Right.
senior managers and business owners and luminaries.
You
Right.
want me to just ask for senior level executives?
I mean, if possible, if they would be available and if they would be willing to spend a few hours, yes, that would be the people that I would start with.
All right. Oh wait, that leads me to one more question. How many hours total would you say they would have to spend on this? Are we talking
I would
about
say probably at most 6 hours. At most 6 hours.
at
Yeah,
most?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's one of the slides talks about time commitment. So I figure about 2 hours to read the case study at most, 2 hours to review a few presentations, and then 2 hours to participate in the debate, to view the debate and do the scoring of the debate.
Okay, so that's not a huge time commitment. Okay.
Yeah. So last year I spent, as I said, I read most of the YouTube. It took me maybe half of a Sunday to do that, and plus the time commitment during the debate and other interactions. So it's not a lot. So I would say maybe 6 hours or around that is pretty accurate.
Okay, great. Okay, so um, perfect. I think that's very reasonable to ask somebody. Okay. All right. Cool. I think that's all the questions I have now.
Okay. Is there any other questions from the audience at this time?
I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about other things about the past presentation. So
Oh, that was about it. That with the past if when you read through when you get the slide deck, you will see that we do have a lot of the prior competition cases, right? 2023, 2022, all the way starting from 2020, basically. So you're more than welcome to view through those and oops, to view through those and understand like what those competitions are, but definitely 2024 will be the most relevant one since it's following the same strategic pathway.
okay. All right. I can send this out tonight or tomorrow night, like very as soon as possible. Once you give me the deck, I'll reach out to everybody. And sounds great.
Hey, Eugene and Ashley, I do have one question.
Yeah.
So last year there were some, or the year before, there's some, I wouldn't say complaint, but discussion from the team. They're giving us feedback based on the ranking.
Yes.
Do we do anything differently to avoid similar situation?
So we are going to talk internally about it, but definitely that was one of the big takeaways that we did get from last year, which is that students would love feedback as to how they can make their presentation better for next time. So we will incorporate that as part of this year's ranking,
Okay.
and then also provide to them what their rank level is in the competition.
Right. Okay. Good.
Okay. Any other questions coming from the audience?
But just suggestion, maybe for those 12 judges that already confirmed, maybe we can add the slide of the names of the people who already confirmed, so that people know who else is going to be on the panel.
Yep,
Might be
definitely.
useful to know.
Yep. All right. If there are no any other questions, my final thing to say as Chair for Academic Relations Committee on behalf of ISACA New York Metropolitan Chapter, I definitely want to thank all of the judges who are participating in this year's competition. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, not only to join us for today's meeting, but definitely spending your time helping us reviewing the student presentations and actually judging them for this year's competition. Definitely your efforts will not go unnoticed. As you can see from like the prior competitions, not only will you be announced as one of our judges for the competition, but definitely I know you guys will definitely receive CPE credits on top of all of this. So thank you so much again on behalf of the New York Metropolitan Chapter for taking this time.
Thank you.
Looking
And with
forward to
that,
it.
yes. And with that, we will send we not only will we end today's session, we will also share the recordings with you judges alone. I also highly recommend for whenever you all have the chance to scan this QR code here to go to our link tree. Most importantly, to join our Slack channel, where we're going to add you guys individually to our Slack channel, to a specific channel dedicated for judges, so that way you can be up to date with any of our communications. And when we talk in the final debate, you could be able to share comments, network, things along those lines in that judges channel. So please take that time, scan that QR code. We will be sending out this video recording as well too to all of you guys as well, through email or some other ways, some other format as well. Okay. And everyone have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Ashley, stay
Oh,
on the
yes.
call, please. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good
everyone.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.